Okay, so let's talk about AI. Most of us are using it in some way, right? But are we really using it to its full potential? Today, we're going way beyond just asking it for recipes or to write a simple email. We're going to look at how the absolute best performers are truly operationalizing AI, transforming it from a fun little tool into a strategic partner, a partner that helps you move faster, make smarter decisions, and focus on what actually matters. So I want you to ask yourself this, honestly. Do you treat your AI like a brand new intern? You know, the one you have to explain every single detail every single time, and the next day they've forgotten everything? Or is it something more? See, the top 1% aren't using an intern. They're building an extension of their own brain. And believe me, the difference in results is just staggering. And this slide really lays it all out. On one side, you've got the intern mindset. It's temporary, forgetful, and purely task-based. You start from scratch every single time. But on the other side, that's the strategic mindset. It's persistent, it's context-aware, it remembers your conversations, it understands your goals, and this is the crazy part, it even challenges you to think better. This is the leap we're talking about today. So, the big question is, how do you make that leap? How do you get from the intern to the strategic partner? Well, that's what this whole explainer is for. We're going to break down 5 powerful, actionable strategies that unlock this new way of working. And honestly, they're so effective, they almost feel like cheating. All right, first up, strategy number 1, which we call the clone. The goal here is simple, but it is so profound. We're going to solve AI's single biggest weakness, its terrible memory, and build a persistent, personalized AI brain that actually gets you. You know, this quote from our source material just says it all. It's a bit harsh, but it's true. Every time you open a new chat, you're starting from zero. The AI has amnesia. It has no idea what you talked about 5 minutes ago, let alone your life's goals. It's incredibly inefficient. So we've got to give it a memory. So how do you do it? It's this 3-step framework: extract, synthesize, and projects. First, you extract. You literally interview yourself. Use the voice mode and just talk. Tell it your story, your background, your tone, even your weaknesses. Then you get the AI to synthesize all of that into a neat summary, and you paste that summary into its custom instructions. And finally, you create separate projects or chats for different parts of your life. One for work, one for your health goals, you name it. That's it. That's how you build your clone. Okay, so you've built your clone. You have one superpowered AI brain. Now it's time to build an army. Strategy number 2 is the swarm. And this is all about going from one-to-one to one-to-many, deploying a whole crew of AI agents to work for you in parallel. I love this analogy from the source material. It talks about the goddess Durga, who had to fight 8 different demons at once. So what did she do? She grew 8 arms. And let's be honest, doesn't that feel like what modern work is? We're all fighting multiple battles every single day, but we've only got 2 hands. The swarm is how you grow those extra arms. So what can this army actually do? Well, think of it in a few ways. It can be your hands. Send an agent off to generate 50 qualified leads while you go make a coffee. It can be your eyes. Snap a photo of a messy whiteboard after a meeting and ask it, what's the key takeaway here? And it can be a research assistant, devouring a 300-page report and giving you the summary in 5 minutes, a job that used to take days. Now for our third strategy, and this one might be the most important. We're going to flip the script entirely. Instead of using AI to tell you you're right, we're going to use it to prove you're wrong, to challenge your thinking, and to save you from your own worst enemy, your biases. This quote just hits the nail on the head. We are wired to seek validation. We want to be told our ideas are great. But real growth, the best breakthroughs, they come from friction, from being challenged. The problem is, AI is programmed to be a people pleaser. It wants to agree with you. You have to force it to become your devil's advocate. And why is this so critical? It's because of a cognitive bias called the IKEA effect. You know how that wobbly bookshelf you spent all Saturday building feels like a priceless work of art? That's the IKEA effect. We fall in love with our own ideas, our own work, just because it's ours. And that love makes us completely blind to the flaws. We need an objective eye. So how do you turn this friendly assistant into a ruthless critic? 3 techniques. First, use magic triggers. These are prompts that force it into an adversarial role, like, you are my biggest competitor. Tell me why my strategy will fail. Second, use shadow box. Have the AI simulate a debate with a skeptic, like a ruthless venture capitalist, to find all the weak spots in your pitch. And third, you leverage your clone. You ask it, based on what you know about me, what am I missing here? What are my blind spots? Okay, on to our final two strategies. And these are a little different because they shift the focus from your external work to your internal world. Strategy 4, the Neuralink, is about using AI to learn anything deeply. And strategy 5, the executive coach, is about using it to manage the insane psychological pressure of doing important work. This all comes down to a question from a famous story about the physicist Max Planck. See, his chauffeur had heard his speech on quantum mechanics so many times that he'd memorized it. The chauffeur could give the speech perfectly, but if someone asked him a question, he was totally lost. He had the words, but no understanding. And that's the danger of AI. It can make us all chauffeurs if we're not careful. So to make sure you're the professor, not the chauffeur, you use the progressive professor technique. It's brilliant. Don't just ask AI to explain a complex topic once. Ask it to explain it 3 times. First, explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Then, okay, now explain it like I'm a 15-year-old. And finally, now give me the college-level explanation. By layering the information that way, you build a true, deep understanding. You create a real neural link. And finally, strategy 5, the executive coach. Here, you use the AI as a mirror for your mind. There are 3 types. You've got the vomit mirror. Yep, that's for when you're overwhelmed and you just rant all your stress and chaos at it, and it helps you sort through the mess. Then there's the stoic mirror. When you've had a major setback, it helps you reframe it as a lesson, an opportunity. And last, the decision mirror. For big choices, you just talk through your options, and it helps you hear your own thinking more clearly. It's an incredible tool for clarity.
So we've gone through 5 strategies that right now will give you a massive edge. But here's the thing. What's rare today is required tomorrow. Pretty soon, everyone will be doing this. So what's the real lasting human advantage in a world full of AI? Well, I can tell you what it's not. It's not about productivity. This quote really captures the whole shift. Your title might be Chief Executive Officer, but as AI handles more and more of the executive part, the tasks, the execution, your real job becomes being the Chief Emotions Officer, managing the hopes, the fears, the dynamics of the very human people on your team. Look at this pivot. For the last 200 years, the industrial age valued output, productivity, and efficiency. We were basically training ourselves to be better machines. But now, the machines are here. So the new valuable skills? They're things machines can't do. Taste, connection, compassion, the things that make us human. And this might be the most important takeaway of all. Maybe AI isn't a threat. Maybe it's a permission slip. A permission slip to finally stop trying to act like machines. It frees us from all the robotic work so we can get back to being creative, messy, and complicated humans. And so that's the final question I want to leave you with. For centuries, we've been trying to optimize ourselves to do the work of machines. Well, that work is now being handed back to them. So the question for every single one of us is, what will we do with all this new freedom? What uniquely human work will you choose to do now?